I've never been in here before, so this is first for me too. But it has such a comforting feel. Definitely has a very calming feeling. You should feel these scarves. They are so soft. In a couple minutes, we're going to be talking to Vicki, and so we'll give you a little walk around the store. Hey lovies, we're with Vicki at Chic Groovy in Schroon Lake, New York. I've got some shots of this cute little shop that I will be putting in. And okay, first things first, how long have you been in business?
My first day opened was Columbus Day weekend, Saturday, this past year. So haven't been open that long, just a few months now.
All right. The spot. Did you choose the spot? Was it?
It chose me.
I love that.
It chose me. I had a website for Chic and Groovy for the last 3 years. And Donna, the massage therapist, lives nearby me. And she walked up to me one day and said that the yoga studio was not going to be renewing their lease. Did I want to share a space with her? And so the opportunity kind of just arose, and I took full advantage of it and said yes, because this was always the dream. The end result was always going to be a storefront, but it just never, the timing was never right. It just never happened. So here it is.
It definitely has a very cozy, welcoming feel. I mean, as soon as I walked in, I immediately
Good
relaxed.
vibes, I
Good
hope?
vibes, good vibes.
Good.
Definitely, it definitely has a feel of welcoming you in.
Good.
And putting you in a hug. That's the best way I can describe it.
Awesome.
So the energy here is awesome.
That's great.
And the setup is really nice and chic.
Good. And I thank you for pronouncing the name correctly. Chic and Groovy. Most people say Chicken Groovy. So I'm really glad that you did pronounce it correctly. So thank you.
Thank you. You know, that's kind of like my style at home. I call it rustic chic.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whenever anybody says chick,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not what the word's pronounced. We
Right.
speak English.
Yes. But it's okay that it's mispronounced. I don't mind. But yeah, I'm just trying to offer, unique items that normally can't be found anywhere locally. I mean, I don't want to have the same exact items that everybody else in the Adirondack towns have. So I'm trying to just be
The
me.
specific Adirondack
Yeah, kind of.
kitschy tourist.
Yeah, I don't want souvenirs. It's not a souvenir store. It's just it's a kind of a fun hippie store. It's just I want things to be colorful and fun and unique and feel good, smell good, and I want them to make the customer who purchases the item feel good about it too. If you don't love it in the store, you're not going to love it when you get home.
Exactly.
And so I'm just trying to offer things that are a little bit different and trying to think outside the box on what might stir people a little bit. So
And you touched on the hippie feel. That's a big thing in the park is the undertones of the hippie feel. I mean, because there's the mountain tones, like the hardworking mountain person.
Sure.
But we also have this soft, more in tune with nature hippie vibe that goes on that
we really
most
do.
people don't think about.
And there, I mean, and everybody, whether you're one or the other, the love of nature is there. I mean, the people that work in the woods love nature, and the people that don't work in the woods but that enjoy the hiking and the everything else. This is a beautiful, beautiful area, and it should be taken care of and preserved, and all
And
of
that's
that.
why it's here. I mean, we
Right.
forget that before the 1870s, the park didn't look the way it looks now. It was mainly clear cut.
Yeah, no trees, no.
At the end, the timber industry and the mining industries, which are huge money, for the economy, but the people got together and decided that this is what we want to be. It wasn't just like the government stepped in and said, "No, you're going to stop this."
Right,
It had to be driven by the people that lived here.
right.
And that's something I will be touching on in another video, but it is a big part of the uniqueness of this area.
It is.
Like it just dropped out of the sky. It's actually work, and it takes work to keep it this way.
Sure.
Now, you had some jewelry. I got some pictures of it, and you said it's from a young girl in the area that makes
Yes, it's pretty much my only artist that I have here at Chic and Groovy. She's a local artist. She lives in Pottersville. Her name is Dana, and she designs her own jewelry and has been doing that for since she was, I believe, about 9 or 10 years old. And I just fell in love with her items and her products. They're good quality. She does an excellent job. So I asked if I could put some of her designs here at Chic and Groovy, so you can exclusively find them here. The name of her company is Day Signs Jewels, and I just made a post on Facebook today of some of her jewelry that she made specifically for my store for Valentine's Day. So men, take a look at the post, pick something out, and you know where you can come get it for your girl. So
nice. Now, on to another direction. Are you from the park originally, or are you an implant?
I am originally from Schroon Lake, New York. Was born in Glens Falls, and I was raised here. Went to grade school off and on here in Schroon Lake, and then came back for middle school, and then finished out my high school in Burnt Hills.
Nice.
But this has always been home to me because this is where I grew up as a kid. So Schroon Lake's always been considered home. And although I was away in Florida for 25 years, when I decided to start over again, I thought, where do you go to do that? And I wanted to come home. And this is where I came.
That is a beautiful sentiment. That's something I also asked, I've been asking everybody I've talked to is like, what made you come home? Because a lot of us leave.
Mm-hmm.
But then we come back.
A lot of us have come back.
And you don't think about that.
Yeah, that's true. Hello, come on in.
So you left and came back. And I guess my other question is, besides Schroon Lake being home, why this particular town for your business? Is it just because it called you, or was it, serendipitous?
I think, yeah, and that's what I mean. I think it chose me. Like the timing was just, it was meant to be kind of thing. I had been looking around the last few years for a storefront, not just in Schroon Lake, in the other areas, Lake George and such, and I just didn't get a good vibe from any of the locations that I'd looked at in the Lake George area, and I didn't want to go up any further north. So
Yeah, it's pretty hard farther north.
yeah, and I didn't want to commute too far. So when this opportunity opened up, I thought this is just going to be perfect.
Nice. So when you, my husband and I, we spent 5 years truck driving, and we always said that once you get to around Lake George area and the mountains start, you start seeing the mountains on the horizon, it starts feeling like home, and the close, and then the farther you get up the Northway,
True.
the more home you feel. Do you have that same feeling?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, when I wasn't even to, I don't even think I was to Albany yet when I drove from Florida here, knowing this was going to be a permanent thing for me. And I was coming up the thruway, and it was just very emotional and very moving because I had already felt that I was home. Everything was so green, and I came, July 1st was the day that I arrived back in New York State, and it was just, even that far south, it already felt like I'm coming home. I'm home. It was just beautiful. So,
is it hard coming back after living, away for so long?
No.
Because I know some things change, but so much stays.
No. In fact, not much has changed. And then again, I'm older, so my memory's not as good as it once was. But town is still town. Nothing really has changed much. I mean, businesses have changed, ownerships have changed, but the actual structure of the town, the community, the people within the community, they're still the same, giving. I'm humbled by the response that we get from this community whenever we do a benefit raffle or a benefit dinner for someone else within the community who is in need. And everyone steps up and comes out and does what they can. And so it hasn't really changed from 40 years ago, to be honest. It's still the same community, and I love that fact.
And I love that. And a lot of people think about New York, they just think about the city. And they don't realize our small communities and how much we have to work together to make it work in this area.
Yes, because the economy is definitely very different than south of us, and it does. It takes a village, and I appreciate the fact that a lot of people stayed and shopped local this holiday season, and I don't think it was just specifically due to the COVID pandemic. I just think that they did what they could do to help support these small businesses and these small towns, and it's very much appreciated. So
thank you very much for spending some time with me,
Thank
Vicki.
you.
I know you got some customers, and I will let you get to work.
Sounds great. Thank you.